here. Yeah.
So it's difficult for me with talking about positivity, not bringing up the fact that, sometimes being overly positive or falsely positive, almost, to the point where you're fake about it.
Yes.
It's an issue. I mean, basically you're suppressing emotions. Yeah. And so, there is that fine line. And so as we're sitting here talking about, and I feel like such the pessimist right now. And, I'm like, yes, everybody should be positive. However,
but it's a valid point, because I've had I won't say I have a lot of experience with toxic positivity, but mine came from really not knowing how to deal with those emotions, right? So, or the negative emotions or the hard emotions or the sad emotions. And so it was easier for me to suppress that and just be like, everything is awesome, right? And just like blanket it until I felt better, right? But really all I was doing was pushing those emotions down the line. And
fake it till you make it. Just like Marlena said, right? Fake it till you make it.
But, it also came out in my relationships, because a lot of times if somebody else was having a hard emotion, I didn't know how to deal with that. Right. So instead of just saying, oh, I'm immature in this, I don't know how to deal with my emotions or other people's emotions, so I should just be quiet. Right. Or just tell the person I'm listening. But I would tell the person, well, just think positive about it. Like, just, I don't know, think about something better. Right. Like, put positive thoughts in your mind. Stop listening to that music. It's dreary, right? Listen to something poppy. I don't know. And maybe you'll feel better. Really. And yes, there's certain aspects to that. Okay, maybe, but overall that's not the way to deal with things. and it didn't help anyone. Right. And even I remember my husband's telling me, he's like, I love your positivity, but like, it doesn't solve anything really for me. I can't do what you do. And then I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, because what am I doing? I'm not really solving anything either. So, yeah.
I think go ahead, Marlena.
No, please.
Oh, I was just going to chime in on that and saying that, yes, there's definitely a fine line, and there's a difference between stuffing and not dealing with versus just trying to pep yourself up. Right. Because I could be in a bad mood and be like, oh, okay, come on. Just let's go. And it could be for many reasons. I don't know, periods, kids, life, whatever.
People.
But I could just, people, driving in my car, whatever, road rage. But you could just be in a bad mood, right? Okay, let's shake this. Come on. Right. Happy music, happy life, open the sunroof. Come on, positive vibes only. Like, there is a difference. There's a difference because when it's you truly sitting in, let's say, grief, let's say, I don't know, something that
some form of depression.
Exactly. Form of depression. And you're trying to convince yourself to be positive or be out of it. You're just stuffing and you're not dealing with the core issue. And so it'll never resolve itself. And now you're just faking it until you make it, and you may never make it. So I agree with the points, you were making, Christy, that there's a definite difference between, I just need to get out of this funk. Come on, let's get moving. Let's get outside. Let's see some vitamin D. Let's feel it. Let's do all the good things versus shit. I have like a real, there's a true issue going on.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Right. You know, waking up on the wrong side of the bed. And I know I've woken up pissed off for no apparent reason. 9 times out of 10, I had a bad dream, and Vince pissed me off in my dream. And so I wake up and I'm just, raging. I'm like, dude, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. But then he tells me, oh, you just got to think positively. When somebody tells me that, it's one thing for me to tell myself that, but when someone else tells me that, they're invalidating my feelings. And granted, waking up on the wrong side of the bed or having a dream that pissed me off is, but if someone tells
Chad knows those feelings very well too. I'm just dying because I'm like, I'll wake up and I'll look at him. He goes, "What did I do?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "What did I do in your dream?" I'm like, "Don't talk to me right now."
I'm like, Vince, you're a fucking asshole.
He just knows.
Right. But when I'm actually dealing with something, and if Vincent were to tell me, "Oh, see, now he angered me because I just called him Vincent." But if Vincent were to tell me, just think positively. It's one thing for me to tell myself that, but it's another thing for someone else to sit there and tell you that, because now they're invalidating your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
They're shaming you. It can cause guilt. And it's basically telling you, please suppress all of your human emotions.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things with toxic positivity, that, you shouldn't be suppressing emotions when it comes to those hard emotions, those hard feelings. Sometimes you just need to sit in them, and it's okay to not be okay. Like that's it, it's okay to not be okay. And, but like, again, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you sit there and tell yourself, okay, we're going to shake this up a little bit, and we're going to think a little more positively. We are going to find something to be grateful for. I know when I wake up in the morning, before I even open my eyes, I list 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for as before I even open my eyes and put my feet on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I start my day. But, there's also, those days where I am really dealing with issues and stuff like that. And I have to sit in those emotions. And as far as spiritual bypassing, it's very similar to toxic positivity. You just, throw a little spirituality into the mix. It's, I mean, but, it's like, oh, I'm all love and light. And it's like, no, you're not, you're love and light. But sometimes you're like anger and rage. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're, sad and upset. I'm love and light, but I'm also fuck around and find out. Like, I'm a, and I try and find that balance, where I'm able to, find optimism and positivity. And, I know what I'm grateful for, but also, I'm not a doormat. And, if you're going to treat me, in some foul way, I'm still going to stand up for myself, kind of thing,
Right. And no one should ever invalidate your feelings, ever.
Right.
Like whatever, as outrageous as they might be, or ridiculous or whatever, they might think, like, just let me work through this. Don't invalidate me. No one should ever invalidate your feelings, period.
Because your feelings are your feelings. I mean, that's how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and sometimes you need to sit in that, and you need to be able to work through that.